Hello children, so today we will look into the topic chapter 8 body movements. We have a video 1, the topic is introduction, page 66, human body and its movements, and we will look into the two kinds of joints. So if you sit absolutely still, you can observe that there are different movements happening in our body. Like you are breathing, you are blinking your eyes time to time. So different movements happen in our body even if you are sitting absolutely still. Now in school, when you are sitting, you can do different kinds of movements at the same time. Like suppose you are sitting and you are writing, isn't it? You can turn around and look at your friend when you are writing and sitting. Different kinds of movements are possible in our body. Like for example, we can walk, run, skip, jump and move from one place to another. Now let us think about movement in plants. So blooming of flowers is a kind of movement. The sunflower plant, it faces the sun as the sun goes through the day, and mimosa or your touch me not plant, Tottavadi, it folds its leaves whenever it is touched. So plants also, even though they are remaining in the same place, show different movements in them. Now let us look into table 8.1. It is on page 66, table 8.1. So if you take your table, textbook, you have your table here. Look into that, fill it. So let us look into different animals, how they move from one place to another. Like you have your animal cow. The body part used is leg and it walks. Humans, again legs, they walk. Snake, it uses its whole body and it slithers. Bird, it has wings and it flies. Insect, it has legs and it creeps or crawls. Fishes, they have fins and they swim. Dog, it has leg and it walks. So what is the meaning of this term creeping? Ezhayuga, crawling, nuzhayal, and slithering is Thenni Ezhayuga. So in snakes you can see slithering movement, insects you can see creeping and crawling. Now the last column is empty in the textbook. You can write there dog, it uses its legs, and how does it move? It walks. So please fill in that table. Now we look into the topic human body and its movements. Now to understand that, let us imagine a cricketer who is bowling. You can look here, a cricketer who is bowling. You can see the hand is actually taken in a complete circle and then it is bowled. Isn't it? Maximum movement is possible there. Now if you think about it, different parts of your body undergo different kinds of movements. Like your shoulder, you can rotate it completely, your arm. But what about your elbow? It can go only in one direction. Knee, again it can bend only in a certain way. So different parts of the body can move in different ways. So to understand this better, we will look into table 8.2, movements in our body. So if you take your table 8.2 on page 67, let us fill in that table. So take your textbook and fill it. So the body part, what kind of movement is given? So let us look into that. The neck, it can rotate partly, it can bend, isn't it? You can bend it forward and backward. Wrist, it rotates completely, it bends and it lifts. Finger, you can rotate it, bend it, lift it. Knee, you can bend it. You can cut this Knee, it bends, isn't it? Ankle, it rotates partly and you can bend it. Toe, again rotate partly, bend it. Back, you can turn it, bend it and you can lift also. The head, it does not move at all. The skull or the head, it does not move at all. Elbow. Now you have your elbow. Elbow also you can lift it, isn't it? Elbow. And you have your arm. Arm, it can rotate completely and it can lift. Isn't it? Your arm, it can rotate completely and you can lift things. So different parts of your body undergo different kinds of movements. Now we will look into why does it happen that way. So we have activity 1 on page 67. You can see a boy is there. Now at the elbow a scale is placed here and is tied to the arm. And now you try to bend your elbow. Is it possible? No, it is not possible, isn't it? So what is it present there that helps us to bend? So we have a joint present here, joint in the elbow. Now what are these joints? They are two parts of the body seem to be joined. Like you have your elbow, shoulder, neck. So you can see here a joint is present and you can move your elbow a certain way. So a joint is what? Nothing but a place where two parts of our body seem to be joined. Now we can bend, move our body at those points where the bones seem to be meeting or where a joint is present. Okay, movement is possible at those places. Now what is present there that helps you to move? If you press your forehead, you can feel something hard pressing against your fingers. And if you touch and see your different parts of your body, you can find similar hard things pressing against your body. So what is present in these places? Bones are present there. Bones cannot be bent. So the two bones seem to meet at a place and you call it as a joint, and movement is possible there. Like for example, you have your elbow. Now different kinds of joints are present in different parts of our body. Different kinds of joints are present in different parts of our body and we can move it in different ways. So let us look into the different kinds of joints that are present. The first is your ball and socket joint. Ball and socket joint. We will look into activity 2, making of a ball and a socket joint. So it is very simple. You have to take a bowl, okay, and you take a ball and you insert a pencil and keep it inside that bowl. And what kind of movement is possible there? Maximum movement is possible there. The example is like you have your shoulder joint where you have your arm. Remember a bowler bowling a ball? So that kind of movement is possible in ball and socket joint. So in this ball and socket joint, what happens is that there is a cavity or a hollow space. You have your bowl. The bowl is having an outer glass or your steel, but inside it is empty. So that is your hollow or cavity. Hollow means empty inside. For example, your bowl. So you can see a bowl is present. So what is it showing? A cavity is present. Into that the head of a bone fits into and maximum movement is possible. Now if you look into an example, you have your hip joint. Hip joint You can see you have your thigh bone here, thigh bone, and the end of that bone is like a ball, and it fits into a socket or your cavity or hollow space. So remember the structure we made? So there is a thigh bone, a ball like structure at the end. It fits into your socket or your cavity or your hollow space, and you can have maximum movement possible there. So that is about your ball and socket joint. The next joint is your pivot joint. Pivot joint is the neck joint. Like you can see here, the neck region, you have the pivotal joint. Now the neck, what kind of movement is possible there? You can bend your neck forward, backward, you can turn it to the right, you can turn it to the left. So those movements are possible in pivotal joint. So what happens in pivotal joint? A cylindrical bone rotates in a ring. A cylindrical bone rotates in a ring. A cylindrical bone rotates in a ring. So that kind of movement is possible in pivotal joint. So this much for today's video. We will continue with our chapter in the next video. Thank you, children.